Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. I'm very excited to be here outside for my first outside live video because it is a beautiful day and the sun is shining, the sheep are baaing, so you probably hear some sheep. There's a lot of sheep actually making some noises outside. They're not my sheep, but we're in sheep territory. And yeah, it's so nice to be sitting outside. So I'm in my courtyard. It's probably I need to get something higher, but you can only really see my fence for now and my sculpture here. But I've got lots of plants that I'll be planting. So I'm looking forward to heading outside more often now we're getting into spring. And oh, you can see a glimpse of the sky behind me too. So I trust that you're well, and please let me know how you're doing. I don't have any instruments with me today. I'm going to pull a card, a healing energy card, and we'll talk about that. And we might even just do some stopping and some breathing, and then I'll pull a card to go. But I would like to chat with you in the comments, so please let me know how you're doing, if you've got any questions or anything on your mind. I'm not doing personal readings for individuals, but if you feel like you're stuck with something, you'd like some advice or anything like this, then please let me know in the comments and I'll keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for that. So, welcome. So, it's, yeah, very strong energies, especially around the endings, that death energy. Is very strong and the end of an era, and seems to be a lot of people that I'm hearing of who are passing away, and sending loads and loads of love to you if you're dealing with that now, if you've got a loved one that's passed or you're grieving at this time. It's very loud at the moment. I really can't believe it. It's daily. I'm hearing multiple people a day who are contacting me, letting me know that someone they love is passing or has just passed. It is really quite incredible, the amount of people that are passing at this time. So, yeah, it's really quite huge. So, sending you lots of love. And on an energetic level, you know, on a bigger picture level, this really represents big endings at this time. So I'm wondering too, you know, like, have you got many endings happening in your life? Are you going through big changes right now? Or maybe big changes are starting, or they're in the works, or maybe they've just ended as well. So that sort of change time in our life seems to be connected with these types of things. And what always comes from the ending, so this death energy, is birth. But it's interesting that the birth energy has been about in the last sort of month or two, but that ending's sort of death energy is coming through a lot stronger and louder right now, just in these last couple of weeks. So it's kind of dominating over the birth energy at the moment, which is new beginnings. But the new beginnings always come from the endings. So let's see where things and how things pan out at this time. So let's just check in the comments. We'll say hello, and then I'm going to pull a card. So welcome, Bathsheba. Hi, Anita from Canada. And Bathsheba says that my son's great aunt passed away. Yeah, sending you lots of love over there. And to all of those of you affected by grief in some ways. So luckily for me, it's all been quite distant. I have had an old distant family member pass away, but I didn't know her. I knew of her, and she's my grandmother's sister. So yeah, aside from that, I haven't had it personally touch me, but I know that there's a lot who have. So sending you lots of love out there. So, and I see we don't really have many people here. Surprise, surprise. I think my last video doing the singing bowl, now Facebook's giving me the down on the notifications because they keep claiming copyright on my musical instruments, which is absolutely crazy. But Liz is here. Hi, Liz from California, and Beverly Christian's here from Massachusetts. Welcome. So let's grab a card. We'll talk about it a bit, and then we'll do some catching our breath. So you can do that now. You don't have to wait till it's guided either. So maybe you want to just uncross all of your limbs So just make sure your legs aren't crossed, unless you're sitting cross-legged on the ground. That's a bit different. But if you're sitting in a chair or if you're laying down, just make sure none of your limbs are uncrossed, just to help get the energy moving around your body nice and evenly. And take some really nice big breaths and just let yourself settle. Settle into your body and settle into your breath. Okay, this is interesting. So I've got a gate here which goes out into the backyard. You have to excuse the mess because I'm in the middle of renovating and doing backyard stuff. But that opening there is, there's a movement of air that just has been picking up the card that's flying out and picks it up like a kite. It's interesting. Hi Beverly. Beverly's from Florida as well. Okay, let's grab a card and see what the majority of us need at this time. What do we need to know at this time? And we'll go with this card here, which is this. What is this? Card 26, stillness. So I've changed the illustration. This card has not come up for I can't even remember when it came up last, so probably not at all. Or not for a very long time. It's card 26, stillness, and it says self-healing, inner peace. Silence and meditation may be helpful. Self-discipline, self-control, prayer, a throat chakra, observation, truth, and be at peace. To be at peace. So I think this really speaks for itself, and it really reflects on what I wanted to do anyway. So let's do this now. Take a nice big breath. So I'm going to we'll take 5 big breaths. It'll be guided by my breath, so you may take them faster or slower. I'm going to take 5 big breaths and just not speak. So what I'd like to encourage you to do is take some big deep breaths as well. Really become aware of your body. And also as you're breathing out, as you breathe out, think of letting go. Think of releasing the tension that you're holding in your body. Relax your shoulders, relax the muscles in your face, relax the muscles in your belly and your legs and all across your whole body as you breathe out, and relax and release. And then as you breathe in, imagine filling up your body with nice, fresh, new air and oxygen and life force. So breathing out the old air and breathing out the old, and breathing in the new air and breathing in the new. And really allow yourself to calm down, to find some peace and to find some stillness. So I'm going to breathe 5 big breaths and not speak while we're doing this. So let's start by breathing out to reset ourselves, and then I'm going to start. Okay, how nice it is to do in this nice place with so many beautiful birds. So hopefully you feel calmer, quieter, and stiller than before. So thank you. So, I'm going to grab a card to go. Just a minute. If you did just join us, I was breathing with this card in mind, stillness, which was my intention before I even pulled the card. So hopefully you feel a bit more stillness than you did before. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to pull a card to go in just a second. So if you've enjoyed this connection, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd like to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So you can learn more about me and the work I do here at templeofbalance.com.au. So the best card for our forward movement from here. I don't take the cards that jump out. That's not the way I choose my cards. If that's the way you do, that's fine. It's just doesn't really interest me to do cards that way. So the best card the majority of us need for our forward movement from here. How can we carry this stillness into our life beyond this connection? Is this card 72, Unfolding Time. It's in the action category here. So unfolding time. It says a past event. Move out of the time locks of the past. Let things unfold, move and heal. Release the hurt. See the bigger picture. Unlock yourself and freedom. And I could also add peace with that too, because it feels like often we hold on to things that have happened in the past. If it's a new thing, then we're still dealing with it, so that doesn't really count. But old things from years ago that we still hold on to and we find it difficult to resolve or heal or release or come to terms with or even accept. These are the things that do tend to affect our ability to feel peace and to feel freedom and to feel connected. They sit there bubbling under the surface. Every now and then something triggers them and we may explode like a volcano, and then we ignore it and it just keeps simmering under the surface. So what have you got simmering under the surface that's connected with your past, and a lot of time has passed? Things have changed. You've changed. You're not in the same situation now. How long are you going to keep allowing yourself to be held back and locked down and locked up, trapped by your past? Is this affecting your peace? Is this affecting your ability to be peaceful with others? Because you carry this wound, maybe it intoxifies or spreads this negativity out into your relationships as well. If you've been going through a similar thing, if you find yourself saying, why do people always treat me this way? Why do I always seem to be in this situation? Why do people always treat me like dirt? Or why are my relationships always like this? If you find yourself saying things and you've been through these things before, then it may be difficult to hear, but the one common thread in these things is ourselves. So we have these patterns that we go through in life that seem to repeat themselves. It's like a wheel that let's say like the wheel of karma or the wheel of time that we go through, and there's this little notch, and this notch is this pattern, this issue that we carry, and we might think we've got over it, and then we attract the same sort of person, or we attract the same type of situation, or we're being dealt or treated in the same sort of way. And the key is when we catch ourselves saying, why does this always happen to me? Why do people always treat me this way? It's a pattern. Even though different people and different situations are involved different times, it's a pattern. So the common thread in that pattern is us. So it tends to mean that there's an issue or an insecurity or a fear or something that we carry inside that keeps us aligned with that little notch in that wheel, that it turns around and then we're dealing with it again. Oh, why am I dealing with this again? So what is the pattern here? What do you keep attracting? And why do you keep attracting it? Are you attracting a certain type of person because you feel so insecure about yourself? So you might be coming forward in a desperate sort of way without realizing it. So what can this teach you? What can this situation teach you? What is the source of this pattern? What I like to do when I'm dealing with patterns is, and I realize, oh my gosh, I've been in this situation before, then it's not about that external thing. How can I blame this person, that person, that person, that person, all 5 different people for over the last 5 decades of me having the same issue? It's not connected with them. It's connected with me. So what do I need to change about me to change the pattern? So I look at, in my journal, I look at every time I can remember this has happened before. So in this situation, that relationship, whatever it might be, when has this happened before? It happened here, it happened there, it happened in this year, that year, whatever. I might have a big whole page of things. I might have 3 big things. It doesn't matter. If it's happened more than, well, really twice, if it's happened 3 times or more, it's a pattern. So I look at when this has happened before and what is the common thread here? What have I felt in all of these situations that has been the common thread? Have I felt insignificant? Have I felt suppressed? Have I felt abused? Have I felt small? Have I felt betrayed? What is the common thread here that I have felt? And then I look at also, when did this start? How far can I take this back when I felt this feeling of betrayal? Okay, let's say I felt betrayed and I recognize that in a pattern. Then I'd ask myself, I'd look back over time and go, when did this start? When do I very first remember being betrayed, for example? And then I look at, okay, what do I need to resolve about this? Because it is infecting my life and has continued to create this negative pattern in my life, and I need to break it. I can't keep going through pattern after pattern because they repeat themselves. Patterns repeat. They keep coming, louder and louder and louder every time. So the sooner we can recognize and break this pattern, the better. So this is what I'm feeling really strongly with this card, and maybe this is something that might be affecting our peace, that stillness that we want to find in life. Maybe there's a bubbling under the surface of some issue that we're still carrying that we haven't got the hint of yet through the patterns that have been getting louder. So that's how I deal with my patterns. Maybe that's helpful for you. But if not, maybe look at in your own way how you can break the spell almost, or that trap of the past that is infecting you today. Are you ready to let it go? So I'll leave that with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll be back to share with you again tomorrow for the weekly guidance. So I'll see you maybe then. Take care of yourself. Bye.